What's happening, everyone? Today, Jeff is back with us. What a treat it is.
Oh, yeah. You lucky bastards.
You were just asking about AI.
Yes.
And so, wait, so you said that your son thinks it's going to go away.
Well, he thought it's some kind of, and this was, let's see, what are we in now? May, I think January, somewhere around there. And he was like, AI's going to get outlawed.
Well, I don't think that's one of the things that you can really outlaw anymore now, because it's already like,
dude,
Pandora's out of the box. She doesn't go back in.
I just got a new phone last week, and I can't look up when my stuff would, like when a picture was taken in 2019. Now it's asking AI. I know when my goddamn picture was. Oh
yeah.
You can't even control it now, so it's already out of the, like you said.
It's so entrenched in everything that we do now that you can't.
Out of the bottle.
And if anything, it's only going to get more and more like encompassing in our lives, because once they figure out how to do like cold fusion, and to get that kind of power, and they have like quantum computers, basically, they're basically like that big dangly thing, and there's like the computer's right in the middle, right at the bottom, and it's like all this stuff is meant for it to be cooled, to be kept cool and to be kept still.
Another NVIDIA thing, by the way, liquid cooling, but anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but once we can do that, then there's basically an unlimited amount of power for AI for the computing and everything.
I wouldn't go that far, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
they're looking at nuclear again. that
nothing's quite
open
unlimited.
3 Mile Island. I think Microsoft.
Well, yeah, right. And so, I mean, it seems like we should be getting back. Like, it shouldn't be that scary anymore.
Well, we freaked out, and Jackson Brown was one of the worst, right? For 3 Mile Island, and then Chernobyl didn't help. So it was like, oh, Christ, Fukushima now, too. That probably didn't. But anyway,
yeah.
If you think about it, that's our best. No coal, no gas, even though natural gas is clean as shit to me. But anyway,
yeah,
no coal, no gas, fuck you.
We've made it work for decades now with submarines and aircraft carriers.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We don't have to. I never thought of that. We don't have to worry about that, but don't put it in a building.
Yeah, it's okay. Just only put the nukes where there's like lots of missiles and lots of planes.
Yeah.
And like the most important technology.
In the water with whales and fish and shit.
Yeah. Like, right? I mean, nobody really equates that. Like, it seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And the nuclear power it's definitely needed.
Speaking of AI, that's another thing is AI could figure out, okay, Fukushima might not be a good place because of earthquake. California might not. Who knows,
Right.
They can think of that. AI can think of that faster than us. That's why another thing is they're going to cure cancer and shit like that, because we can't think that fast. Me and you and 20 other doctors.
But they probably already have the cure.
Well, I've heard that too. Follow the money. I told you, you want to the real news, financial networks, but
yeah, no, it really is. Yeah, because it's all about people's money. They say that the oceans are rising, but they're still selling the property out on the beachfront.
Oh God,
they're still insuring those homes.
Yeah, we're gonna make Gaza the beachfront property, right?
Yeah, I already bought a place there, so I'm hoping I bought a duplex. Rent the other place out.
As against that as I am, that'd be fucking cool, though. I have to admit.
I mean, if you look at that place, I mean,
because Israel's great. Shit, I'd have a good time.
Well, like just the natural layout of it, like obviously it's war torn and it's burned to hell now, but like it really is right on the water there, and it would be like
And now you see Netanyahu already took a quarter of it or something, and says he's going to take more, and Trump's ready to build fucking Trump
no 3/4.
3/4? Okay.
3/4, because I think they are trying to concentrate Hamas in just the northern area, and they're trying to sweep like Rafah on up.
Yeah.
But that place, that's a mess. And like this is an unpopular opinion, but like we can't be fighting all of Israel's wars.
Well, we're kind of not, besides selling them shit. But then again, we buy more well, anyway. Speaking of aircraft, shit, you just made me lost my point. God damn. Can tell I'm not coming in. Oh, that's their land. It's been their land for 100 years. Okay, we dropped Israel in the middle of it. That sucks and all that. Okay, we're over that. That was, when was it? 57 or some shit. Anyway.
I think it's 48, right?
Okay. So get over that. Israel's there. But now taking that little bit of, and that does seem stupid to have that little bit of land, but it is theirs. What if California said, well, we need this corner, dude. Get out of your house. But we're not going to give you anything. Matter of fact, we already bombed your fucking bedroom over there. So
Yeah. God.
it's your house.
Yeah. It's, I mean, it's hard to say, like, the right thing to do is just stop bombing them. But,
well, of course.
Like, I'm so far removed from it, like all of us are out here, like.
Well, yeah.
To where.
Especially if you don't watch the news.
Yeah, but I can't imagine, like, well, think of this way. The Mexican drug cartels do the same thing to us. What if they do? Like, if they do that same kind of operation, they go right into Texas and they do some bullshit like that at some kind of like music festival. I would be pissed. I would want revenge.
Oh, no. Yeah. Hamas is crap. Fuck that.
Yeah. Hamas is, yeah.
And I can't blame Netanyahu. I keep wanting to say Bibi. I don't know the guy. But anyway. I don't blame him when he says, fuck you. I don't care what it takes for getting rid of Hamas. I get that. But right now, kids are starving. There's millions, or at least 1 million, starving to death.
Yeah.
Seriously? And, okay, if the government did want this, the first thing they'd do is level it. Well, we're bombing your ass instead of using that big ball and smacking it down. We're bombing your fucking ass. It's already leveled. It's ready to make beachfront property.
Yeah.
It seems kind of planned to me.
I mean, we're so close to like a World War III situation, that it's kind of,
if it's that bad. Well,
there's multiple conflicts breaking out, and multiple factions technically, but people are on one side or the other, like the Pakistan-China thing, like that was kind of interesting because you could see from the defense contractor perspective, India has European jets and they have Soviet jets. And Pakistan has American jets and Chinese jets. So that's like the ultimate, like, hey, I wonder how these would do against each other.
That's what that's what I think Ukraine and Russia's about.
Yeah.
And we were doing the same. Like we gave them F-16s. Or was it 16s? Anyway, and I guess they're working real well. Russia's pissed, but so it's like, yeah, let's try this out. And now we got somewhere to test it. We're not testing it in Oklahoma or whatever.
Yeah, well, and now, you see, like, Trump seems to be trying to end the wars, right?
Yeah.
But when they're over, like, he must have got the okay from somebody to be like, we want to do peace. But defense contractors, they would say, we don't want that because we're not going to make any money. Okay, well, how about this?
Eisenhower warned us about that in 60.
Right.
Okay.
But how about this then? How about we stop the wars and stop the killing, but we just funnel a shitload of money into you for the the Golden Dome thing? How about we just still give you money, but nobody has to die?
Yeah.
They have to have the money. They got to have it. They have to have the money.
I don't know.
At least people won't die.
I'm going back, but just getting to this. You know how much we want data centers and all that. I don't know if you've seen, like, they're as big as this whole block.
Oh, yeah.
And noisy, good God. There's one, was it Kentucky? I think it's Kentucky or Tennessee. And they bought their house, and it was a nice view and everything. And now this data center went up, so it's basically kind of a half-ass skyscraper. I think it's 4 stories. And it's... Your backyard's a building now, and it's noisier than shit.
You know what they should do?
So we could, well, my point, that's why I said I'll get back to it. The point is, okay, some shithole Ukraine or Pakistan or India or whatever, make that a data center place for the whole fucking, the whole country's a data center. Fuck it.
Well, I was just thinking, because they were complaining about so much of the noise at Sears Point, for the raceway.
Yep.
Put a raceway there. I mean, or put a data center at the raceway. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
But there's a lot of, I don't know. I'm not a total liberal or a total conservative. No, I think we had that conversation. But like where the airport is now here, they're building all these Amazon centers and all that kind of crap because if they build houses, we're all going to bitch about the airplanes.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing it in Denver now. That airport's 20 years old. There was farmland when they built it. Now there's houses there, and they're bitching about the airplanes.
Well,
Orange County, the 737 has to go damn near straight the fuck up because they don't want the noise.
Every time somebody mentions that airport, the Denver airport, have you ever been there?
I worked there 10 years. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's a really creepy airport, right?
I mean, when you work there, and I take golf carts because there's a whole underground.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not, I don't know. It's kind of cool.
I mean, but you have you have that weird creepy horse with the red eyes.
Oh, yeah. And we got the bear looking into convention center too.
Yeah. And you have
and there's memes of those two fighting. But anyway.
Well, you have that weird gargoyle that's like off to the corner, just overlooking the baggage claim.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
And then you have those weird murals.
Well, there was, I don't know if it was history or whatever. There is a bunch of conspiracy theory crap that when they built the airport, they built all this underground shit. And I haven't seen any of that. There is an underground network, but it's just support shit. You know, the Camaros, we come up from the ground and, drop your Camaro. Sure. Then we go over there and, put the food for the airplanes and, over here, whatever. It's just support crap. It's not secret shit.
They're not doing a very good job of convincing people that it's not. You see it.
I know what you're saying, and I agree, except that sometimes shit's so stupid, don't even give them screw it. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I'm not even going to comment on it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, because they wouldn't tell my ass either.
Like right here. Like that's kind of a weird thing, right?
What are we looking at?
Oh, there.
What the fuck is that?
That's in the Denver airport.
Where?
It's a mural that's up there. That's weird, right?
That's got to be on the southwest side now.
That's Spirit Airlines.
I don't think have I seen that? I thought that was a video game or some bullshit.
Then this one here.
What the fuck?
Yeah, here, let's check it out. Right there. Let's maximize. But look at that, right? So this is obviously looks like a dead jaguar up there, a dead turtle, some penguin in a glass case.
A funeral for him? What the hell is that?
Yeah, maybe, but then they're crying, right?
Turtle looks dead too.
They're all sad, and there's like a dead kid on the right there.
Is this shit going to be extinct? Is that what that is?
I don't know. But then there's
a penguin in glass.
There's a phoenix with a bunch of fire.
Bird.
The cities are burning. It's like, dude.
I wonder if that's endangered shit.
I mean.
And if it is, you didn't do that good a job trying to tell me.
Yeah. And what is it? Like this thing down here? That's weird, right? The eyes?
What do you call that? The Mexican Halloween crap? That's what that looks like to me. Muerta.
Oh, yeah. Dia de los Muertos?
Yes.
But like this kid, he's all upset because his squirrel's dying.
Yeah.
The bird's in a cage. It's just like, we don't need that.
That looks like endangered shit to me, but, well, it must be, I'm the idiot that reads all the crap. When I go to a museum, I've closed zoos. Been the last one there. They didn't even know we were there. We had to help them open the door to let us out. Because I read all this shit, and there's probably something under that, with a famed artist, Josh. Look at all these. God
that's where the mural is.
I guess I never fucking.
How could you have missed that? This is the weirdest thing.
Yeah, either it's been, when did I work there? I left in 17. I haven't been that freaking. I don't know. I probably didn't give a shit or something. I don't know. I mean, that or all these chicks walking by. Yeah, okay.
You have to admit that is weird.
That's freaking weird. I think this is just my opinion that's big conspiracy there. And sorry, I just read that. No, I think that's like for animals going away. What's that called?
Like
extinction.
Oh, really?
I don't know. That's what I'm getting from it. Of course, the Muerta thing has nothing to do with it. I don't fucking know.
But then there's this one too.
That looks like video game crap to me, or commie shit.
It looks kind of like Nazis or Stasi
shit,
or
that's what I'm thinking.
You know, because he's like piercing the little dove, which is a symbol of peace. You know,
The sword and AR guy looked like fucking Russian shitbags to me.
Yeah,
maybe that's a fucking what is it? AK-47. I don't know what the hell.
That looks like it's an AK. Yeah. It's, you know, I can't remember last time I saw an AK with a bayonet, but
yeah,
still, you know, as if this big sword wasn't enough. He's got to have the little one.
That fucking sword is as big as the leg.
But it is very weird, right? And they said that the airport was way over budget.
Why the fuck did I not? It was.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did I not notice or care? I wonder what that's about. Huh.
Yeah.
I probably went, damn, that's some weird shit, and kept walking. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, because I asked them, I asked one of the attendants there that was working at one of the gates. I was like, hey, where's all the weird stuff? And they're like, oh, well, if you go over there, there's a gargoyle that we paid like $6 million for that's really not doing anything. If you go over here, you'll see the mural. This mural is being there was a cover over it because they were doing some kind of construction over the the one with the sword. But I saw that Jaguar one, and it's like, you just see it, and like you feel like it's weird to look at.
At first, I thought the Jaguar was like a platter. They were going to cut it up and eat it, but then you realize, oh shit, there's all kind of animals there that are endangered. I guess I don't know.
I don't know if are they endangered. I mean, I know that. I mean, it's a squirrel. I don't know if
squirrels are. I thought that looked like a. And maybe they are, and we don't know it. I don't know.
Bison. They got a whale.
Bisons were already gone, and we brought them back, kind of.
Yeah.
We were down to like 300, I think, once.
Yeah. Those things.
They used to roam this whole son of a bitch. Obviously, there weren't roads and houses and all that, but I mean, they used to be as common as squirrels.
Yeah. They used to be all over the place.
Yeah.
But, you know, then you've seen all those like pictures that are like nasty pictures of how they like had hundreds of skulls or something from like, because they used to shoot them from the trains.
And who was that? White dudes.
Well, they did it.
Indians were fine. Now we have to take everything too fucking far. Sorry.
They did it to.
That was Buffalo Bill crap, by the way.
To deplete their food supply.
They did it so the Indians couldn't eat? Are you sure?
One of the reasons, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck could I not know that? Damn, I'm an idiot.
Man, you're getting an education today, huh?
Thanks.
But yeah, it's just like also a weird thing.
I think I have a picture on my phone even of this, like a mountain of skulls. And Buffalo Bill standing by it, you know, look what we did.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was, I thought it was just hides and shit and food. I didn't think, because they do taste good.
Yeah, they're like.
They taste fucking good.
Yeah, it makes you think like, why cows? You know, when we had these.
I've wondered that a lot, and I just figure it's because they're dumb.
Cows are actually pretty smart.
Well, and I've heard that, and I know they like to be pet and shit like a dog, and, you know, I'm not against eating Fred. I don't give a shit, but I just figure it's because they're dumber than shit. I don't know.
I'll eat you right now, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't even care.
Oh, God, I was going to go somewhere and get shot. That's all right. I won't go.
But the airport there's also like a lot of references to space in there. Like there's that spaceman statue.
Yeah. It's this real spacesuit guy. Matter of fact, when I hired on, or it was back on, I was laid off from United. She used to meet me at the space guy, or I can't remember how she put it. Meet me at Buzz Aldrin, whatever. Meet me at the space guy, and I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? Holy shit, there he is.
Is that supposed to be Buzz Aldrin in there?
I don't know. I'm just saying. She said, meet me at probably the space guy, and I just added more than I needed to. But
because it was like an Apollo suit.
And it's a real one.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? I'd put that up in my garage. Shit.
Funny you should say that, because I actually, when I got married, that was my first choice to get married in, was an Apollo astronaut suit. And are
you?
Yeah.
I think I might have met somebody as crazier than I am. What the fuck, dude?
But it was.
What's she gonna wear, and how are you gonna kiss?
Well, she was just gonna wear a dress. But
that's even better. You look like a fucking dork, and she.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because we got married at the Hiller Aviation Museum, And so I wanted to do that, but it was
that was obviously your idea.
It was both of ours because she likes to fly too. But it was $900 to rent the suit, and it was $1,200 as a deposit.
Well, yeah, if you fucking get ketchup on it, I'd be pissed too.
Yeah, I mean it's like because there's a bunch of hoses.
Yeah, puke in the shit.
Yeah, you'll never get that shit out of there.
Well, that's what I mean. You know, you're at your what's it called after the wedding? You're at the
reception.
All I can think of is funeral. No, you're at your reception, drunk and shit, and you puke in the fucking thing, or I grab it, or I don't blame them.
I wish I got to get drunk and shit on my wedding. I wish I had 2 beers and no food the whole day. Because there was
dude.
There's always people yanking it. Hey, take a picture. Hey, we're leaving. Hey, we just got here. Hey, good to see you. Like it's all that, right? But my second choice to get married in, which I also didn't do, was a suit of armor.
Oh, and fuck, dude.
Like full suit, right? And so that to rent was it was $500 to rent, $700 deposit. So still it was like, So I ended up buying like a fiber optic suit, like one that lights up and stuff, and I got married in that. So a decent third choice, but I mean, it would have been nice, that Apollo suit.
I guess.
It still has like Buzz Aldrin stank in it.
It probably does. Damn, that's just wild. And why marriage? You could just, to me, that seems like a video game type of dude, hey, we're going to have a convention, dude, and the speaker's going to be in Buzz Aldrin's suit, not fucking wedding.
Yeah, but it's just, that's the only real event that you can go all out, like, I guess you could do it on like, I don't know, some kind of milestone birthday, but even like, if you have like a 50th birthday or a 21st birthday.
That's what first thing I was going to say, 50th.
Still though, because if it's done right, ideally, you only have one wedding, Ideally, you only have one. And so like, that's your one time to do that bullshit that, you would be seen as like a diva for any other time.
What I hear is you and the old lady going, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, it was mainly her going, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, well, look at this. And she's like,
I'm going to be in this beautiful $3,000 dress and you want to be dressed like a fucking astronaut. What the hell's wrong with you?
No, it wasn't nearly. It was like a $300 or $400 dress. And she was mad because your whatever you're wearing can't cost more than whatever I'm wearing.
I agree.
So
the wedding's for chicks, dude. We don't,
She just wanted to do.
That's why you're supposed to get drunk and not even bang her that night because it's for her.
She didn't even really want a big wedding. She just wanted to go to like.
They always say that if you didn't, she would.
Well, she wanted to go to like the courthouse, and I was like, no, like courthouse. You're not supposed to have good memories at the courthouse.
My last one.
Courthouse is always me like going there nicely dressed and not to say
we won't go there.
Plead guilty.
I can't believe how many people haven't been to jail, but that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, right.
That's something you don't forget. But
it's almost like a rite of passage.
I got married. Well, let's see. The first time I was at the courthouse, and she was pregnant as shit. I didn't even think of that. Wow. Anyway, and then the car got stuck in a puddle about this big.
What?
Oh God, it was ice. And when I parked in it, I broke the top of the ice off. We got married, blah, 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 came back out and it was one wheel, and
did it freeze again?
They had to push me out. No, just that little tiny hole sitting in a little hole, making it worse. But anyway, then the second one, we went to Vegas with her sister too. That was a good fucking time there. And then the third one was in the courthouse again, but she still wanted or wants. Where are the cameras? Anyway, still wants the big church shit,
Oh,
That's why I say
we didn't do the church thing. It was just like it was a cool little venue, It was
that
the
sounds
aviation
great
museum.
to me, but I'm a dude.
There's a 747 simulator there.
Fucking A.
I landed it once.
See, that would be badass. Every time I get in, they're like, "Oh, you've flown before, huh?" I'm like, "No," and then I crash, right?
Yeah.
But no, just for a dude, I understand. But for me, the wedding is the chick shit. Dudes don't give a damn, normally, or maybe a little, I don't know, but I didn't. But so I mean, when I hear you talking, it's I was going to get married in a spacesuit. And we were at the airport, blah blah blah, woo, and she's going, "Oh God damn, he's talking about that again."
Yep, exactly.
See.
Yeah, I mean,
that wasn't for her then.
I want to just try it on. You know, I just want to try it on. You know?
I want to fucking go.
Well, I mean,
I'd jump on one of those dick-shaped rockets right now, man. I think that's fucking cool.
well, those just go up to the ionosphere?
Yeah.
So, but like to go to space, you know, there's still a lot of people that don't think that we went to the moon.
Dude, I'd jump out of that bitch in the moon right now. One giant leap and jump off 4 stairs. Screw it, man. That'd be cool.
Well, there's like, there's supposed to be this like radiation field that humans aren't really supposed to be able to pass through. So that's the reason a lot of these people are trying to say that we never went, right? And
we went, dude. But trust me, I was a little kid. I think I was 12 or something. I don't know. But anyway, 9. I think it was 9. And, you know, there's only 3 TV stations, so that was on all of them.
Yeah.
And we always went to my grandparents during the summer, and that was in July. So anyway, my brother and I are, Grandma, we're bored and shit. There's dudes walking on the moon. What the hell's wrong with you kids, you know? We did, dude. All right, we did.
So that radiation field in I think the 50s or something, we shot a nuclear missile in there and tried to like disperse it, and we only just made it more radioactive.
Why does that not surprise me?
Par for the course.
We know everything. Oh, fuck.
But it's also, it's you know, for me, it's just weird to think like, how could Nixon call them?
What do you mean, how could he call them?
With a delay, you know? Like, and have that conversation. Like, have a conversation with them.
UHF.
But with the delay, and it seemed to be like they were just talking like you were right there.
Oh, no, there was a delay. Oh, yeah. It wasn't like long, but it was like, I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking to you right now. I don't know, 4, 6 seconds or something. There wasn't, you know, half an hour or anything, but.
And why haven't we been back?
That's a good question there. Well, you know, we brought all kinds of shit back. We even had the Doom buggy. That my brother and I got into that now.
Oh, really?
But anyway, oh yeah. There's nothing there. What do we need to go back for? Except if I'm a Trump supporter and they'll bring me up in the rocket and I get to walk on the moon. Fucking A. Otherwise, what for?
Well, I don't know if because you know China's supposed to be doing a lot of work on the dark side.
Yeah.
You know, and so that alone should be like, yeah, we should get it in gear and go there.
Well, okay, but you don't think we're sitting there going, why the fuck is China up there and watching the shit out of them, just like they are us?
Yeah, I mean...
And they got to be pissed we did it first. Everybody was.
Probably. I mean, I just... Why aren't we so interested in going there? If China's there, like, and they're supposed to be...
And how do you know we don't know more? Oh, they're on the dark side. We already knew how that went, you know?
Well, they're supposed to be, I guess... allegedly mining helium-3 there, right?
Helium-3? The fuck is that?
It's let's see, what's the significance of helium-3?
With 2 protons and 1 neutron.
It's for future energy sources.
Or do they think they can fuse or fission?
Yeah, fusion. Fission's what we have now.
Huh.
Yeah, helium-3 is supposed to be more abundant on the moon than Earth, having been deposited in the upper layer.
Huh. I wonder if, like I say, we already know about it and we're just letting China figure it out.
Let them spend their money for once doing the research?
But sometimes we are dumber than shit and we think we know everything. You know, all the battery lithium bullshit? A lot of it is in the ocean off our coast. And we outlawed getting it. So China's getting it right now on our fucking coast.
Oh, they're getting it from our coast?
Yeah. They're mining it. They look like little rocks under the water, and they're mining it.
Is it in international waters?
We said, it could be international, but it's right off our goddamn coast. You know, I mean, it could be far enough, 40 miles or whatever the hell it is to make it international, but, you know, it's right off our coast. Freaks me out, man.
Damn.
That's why I watch all the stupid news shows.
I didn't know that they were doing that right off there.
News. But like CBS Sunday Morning, like magazine shows where they can take, to make news at 5 o'clock, we got to know what we're going to do by now. And it takes all day, and a lot of work. I'm not saying it wasn't, but, bang, we're on. Mm-hmm. Whereas the magazine shows like that, 2020, whatever, that's why they're always almost murders and bullshit nobody cares about. But, well, dudes, I don't know. Some dudes are into it too. But anyway.
My wife always watches the true
Sunday
crime stuff.
Morning. Yeah, exactly. I always like CBS Sunday Morning, a lot of those, because they got more time to study all this shit. And then you're like, holy cow. Then you also find out they've been doing that for 20 years or whatever, and we've been letting them do it, or you know what I mean? You just get surprised. Mm-hmm. It wasn't one or a paragraph on the 5 o'clock news. This is a whole, so it's 10 minutes, but still that, it took 3 weeks to do.
Sure. Yeah, well, that's also the thing is like people don't realize like all the people that print the news, like at newspapers and that kind of stuff, they're up all night.
Yeah.
Like that's
Dude,
just the life.
3,000 words is a bitch. I know, Fuck.
Yeah. And just like getting it out. And then, of course, news companies used to do this, issuing like retractions if something was wrong. Now it's just people run with it or nobody says sorry.
We had that conversation about Musk. That's the only reason he bought fucking, X, whatever the fuck, Twitter. Because they wouldn't let him lie when it was Twitter. Well, and Fox News paid $787 million, you know that, and they're still fucking lying. Dude, I'm watching Bloomberg or CNBC, and Trump's talking. He got all the idiots in the freaking Oval Office there, and we won the election in 2020, the biggest turnout in the history of America, and the best shit in 129. What the fuck? He's making numbers up, dude, and they just let it go. I just don't understand it.
Well, and
half the fuckers believe it.
So, obviously he didn't win, but the suspicion lies how did Biden get that many votes? Because if you look at the tallies, it's like, 2016, Hillary got this many, even 2012, Obama got this many, 2020, Biden gets this many, and then next year Kamala gets basically the same as everybody else, right? Before them. And that's the spike that people are like, how did that even happen? During COVID where
Trump was an asshole.
Is he? He's still an asshole, though. He wasn't.
That's right.
He wasn't any more or less.
Trump was an asshole, so we put Biden in. Biden just kind of left everything on autopilot, and we didn't like that. Evidently, we didn't like the stock market setting 16 fucking records. Anyway, he didn't do enough or whatever. So, and then of course all the conspiracy theory MAGA idiots. But anyway, and I don't give a fuck if any of you don't like it. But anyway.
I have people that are both sides on here.
Oh, so, I know. That's why I'm saying it. I don't give a fuck what you think. But anyway.
Why don't you tell us what you really think and stop sugarcoating it?
I think MAGA's a bunch of shit. I told you already. I'd shoot his fucking ass. I shouldn't.
With a water gun.
Now I'm coming. Yeah, thanks. With that salt gun. In the eyes, though.
Have you seen the movie Ernest Scared Stupid?
Fuck no.
You haven't? Well, because he uses a squirt gun, but he fills it with milk, and he shoots these trolls. Anyway, you got to watch it. It's critically acclaimed. That classic.
When I lived in Dallas, when I got out of the Army, he was on the regular commercials.
Ernest?
He wasn't Ernest yet.
Oh.
And he'd come over and tell you, you need to come over to fucking Valley Ford. They got good deals. Yeah, I'm telling you. And he'd be talking to you in your window or whatever because he's your neighbor. And then all of a sudden it was Ernest goes here and he's a star. And I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, he went to camp. He joined the Army.
Yeah.
He did everything.
And then he fucking died. I guess he smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I didn't know that.
I mean, how could you not tell by his voice?
I think that's been said before and I didn't fucking know, but hell, I smoked then.
He sounds like an ashtray.
Yeah, I got to admit, but I mean, like I say, I smoked then, so fucking what do I know?
Well, everybody did. Well, people said the cigarettes were healthy, right? For a while.
Doctors recommend Newports or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that was like, this was they had all kinds of reasons to, like, this is the healthiest cigarette. Like,
oh, yeah.
What in the world?
1 out of 4 doctors smokes Chesterfields, dude.
I like just the propaganda and that kind of stuff back then. I mean, it was just like so out of pocket.
It's funny since you said that, and I'm thinking as you're talking, like we all do, and I'm thinking, well, how can we be that stupid, right? Well, how can we be so stupid as to think all these conspiracy theories, right? I think the stupidity just goes from one thing to another, a different part of the population.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because a lot of conspiracy
how could you
theories.
not know inhaling fucking smoke? I mean, hello.
A lot of conspiracy theories are somewhat starting to be proven true. Have you heard about recently, I think it was only a couple of weeks ago, the UK admitted to doing like chemtrails, right? They admitted to releasing.
You know what a chemtrail is, right?
Well, yes, I know, like the wingtip vortices and the contrails.
It's 30 below zero air.
But no. This is particles that they put in there. And they said that they did it to mitigate the effects of the sun, right? And like, you can read about it.
They were doing some kind of testing or something, huh?
But they've been doing it for 20 years, they said. Yeah. So, but my thing is like, of all the countries that need more sun, I think that probably
fucking A, right?
Those guys, like, you should have done that somewhere else, like Africa or the Middle East or somewhere that's a lot of sun, but because those guys, they need all they can get.
Yeah, like the UAE,
like the UAE, well, they already do cloud seeding there. It's pretty, it's pretty widely known.
And I tell you what, in let me think, we had to have planes. So let's say 1930, they probably thought seeding didn't work, because I know we did do this first. Nothing happened. Did this first. Finally got to, what do we use? Some sodium shit. I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, it was almost like little sodium explosions, right? Isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's like, I was thinking more like bubbles.
Oh,
I don't know. But either way, my point is, we don't know what we don't know, first of all, but all of us know-it-alls again. Oh, you can't do that. And then finally something works. And you're like, holy shit, they can. And I think a lot of shit goes like that.
Yeah, but we can, but we don't know the long-time ramifications of it.
And we don't even care. That's what I said, yeah. Or that started this conversation kind of is, I'm surprised how dumb we are, or just maybe not caring, but I think the not caring is stupidity.
Well, I think it's short-sighted.
Like China on the dark side of the moon. What if they are doing some badass shit that's probably going to fuck us up and we're ignoring it?
Yeah. I mean,
because when you think about a lot of the shit that's gone on, why the hell did we let it? I don't want to be the world police, but there's a lot of shit.
Well, yeah, that's also the thing is people are tired of being the world police.
I get it.
It's not the right thing to do.
If you let Russia take Ukraine, if you let China and Taiwan, I think we're fucked. But I mean, if other countries taking other countries and shit, well, hell, why don't we take them all? Fucking Mexico and Canada are here. Oh, I sound like asshole.
We're looking at you, Greenland.
That's right.
I saw this thing the other day.
If it's okay for Russia to take Ukraine, well, it's okay for me to take Mexico. God damn it. I like Mexican chicks.
I like Mexican food.
Fucking A.
But then that means all the cartels are here. It's better to keep them over there.
Somebody's got to buy the shit.
It's better just keep them over there, though.
They're not selling it there. They're selling it to us. So what good's that doing?
Yeah, that's I couldn't believe. You saw the video of like Macron in that train where he had like that little bag of blow.
What the fuck?
French president.
He had a bag of blow. Was he doing it?
Well, yeah. But, I mean, so allegedly, right? Okay, let's pull up the video.
Okay, well, what about that?
I was just surprised that he could get blow without fentanyl in it. How come we can't?
I think we probably could get blow. You can't get, because blow's like speed, kind of. Fentanyl's like fucking Quaaludes and shit, isn't it? I really don't know what fentanyl is. Like,
fentanyl is an opiate.
Because you can get high with it. Okay, it's an opiate then, yeah. Well, so is...
Here it is.
Well, fuck me.
Here it is. So look.
Denounce the viral video.
Look at the cups. Look at that watch what he does with this white bag by the cups. So that's, French president, I think that's...
Macron.
I think the other guy is Keir Starmer.
And that's...
I forget who that guy is. But watch that little bag. Watch what he does. See? Pass it off to his other hand. And watch they have a little spoon there too.
Dude.
He passes it. Watch him put it like in his other hand.
Partying?
Yeah. This is on a train. Look, he puts it back.
Shit. Yeah.
Everybody who's done something knows what that move is.
Dude, one time, oh God, I got a story like that too.
But like he gets it without the fentanyl lace in it, you know?
Maybe there's no fentanyl in France. I don't know.
Possibly.
Because there isn't fentanyl here. The shit to make it with comes from China and goes to Mexico. That's why Trump's so fucking mad. But maybe they can get it because there isn't any fentanyl. I don't know. And that's something I don't get either is why would you cut drugs with something that'll kill you? Now you just lost customers. You're an idiot.
Well, thanks to the pharmaceutical companies, there's no shortage of addicts with opiates.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm on them. I'm not on them right now, but I mean, I get them because of my injury.
Yeah.
But I tell the doctor, you know, I know this is all I got.
Yeah.
I fucked this up. I'm looking for heroin. So, you know, I do probably 2 pills a week at the most.
Oh, really?
When I'm really like right now I'm hurting, but not, but you wouldn't believe how much pain you can tolerate too. But anyway, and then usually Sundays, cause I don't do anything, I think is one day I take it cause I fucking hurt.
And because you're probably
working and like lifting weights, shit like that, it hurts to do all that. But at the end of the day, when I sit down, maybe I'm tired. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I say, Sundays when I do nothing but watch all my news shit and all that, I hurt.
Yeah, because you're not distracted by anything else.
Well, that's the other thing is this is good for that. If you just sit here hurting, fuck it, you kill yourself or get addicted to opioids.
Yeah.
But, you know, something gets your mind off of it. You know, like I say, I'm hurting right now, but if I was on my phone doing this, you don't know you're hurting.
Well, and like the chronic pain, is...
That's what I got.
You just, over time, I imagine it gets less and less, or no, probably...
No, you just tolerate it.
Yeah,
better.
you tolerate it more, but the pain probably increases over time, right? You just tolerance also increases.
I feel like it moves sometimes.
Oh, really?
Like today, my back hurts worse than tomorrow or whatever. My arms always fucking hurt. My legs are always cold. And actually, my back always hurts, but just sometimes it's worse than others or whatever. Like my arms feel like, I think we went through this last time, like you fell asleep or you went...
Oh, the tingling?
Yeah, like it's asleep and then burning.
Oh.
So you were on your arm, now it's asleep, and there's a little dude with a torch. And that's how it feels right now. But like I say, it's been 5 years. You get fucking used to it, or more than that. Damn, it's been like 8 years. Damn it. There's a thing on the back of my head. I wasn't wearing a helmet. I don't know what the hell it is, but I woke up in the hospital over a month later and pulled this little piece of leather. It was stuck to my head still. Because I hit the ground so hard that I, like doing this, only it's, you know, it was so hard and violent that it smashed all, I'll show you a picture here. It smashed all the padding out of my spine.
Oh.
So, you know, you think somebody's crippled, they can't walk, right? They're in a wheelchair. Or, you know, they're like Christopher Reeve, you got to blow into the thing because your arms don't work either. Is that quad? Whatever the fuck. Anyway, I have the same injury. Just not as severe, and it depends on where it is on your spine too.
Like Stephen Hawking.
Well, he had. That's speaking of the fentanyl thing for Macron. How come he had ALS for 50 fucking years, and my dad only had it 4? And what's his name for the 49ers only had it 4, and
Well,
that kind of answers your fentanyl thing there for Macron too.
Money, also.
That's what I'm thinking.
Why does Magic Johnson? Why has he had HIV positive? Why is he HIV positive for so long and it hasn't turned to AIDS? Because he's just throwing all kinds of money at it.
Well, because we've got nobody's dying of AIDS anymore.
Yeah,
you've seen the commercials for Big Tarby and all that. They call it PrEP. So you drink this before I fuck you, and we don't get it. If I don't drink this, we will get it. And then there's still drugs for even if you got it already. It's just, you know, the technology. But anyway, see the white.
Oh, yeah.
That white should be all around your spine. If it's not, that's nerves. So there's
you guys send me that. I'll put it in the. I'll put it in the show.
like if you wear your watch too tight or a rubber band, and your hand turns, that's like that. Your spine is your whole fucking body then. So it between 3 and 5, where I have no pad, it's touching. So it'd be like putting a rubber band here, and it's just enough that your hand isn't dying, but it doesn't work either.
Oh.
And when your spine is severed, if it was broken, now you ain't walking, you ain't doing. They can't ever put that back together.
Right.
For me, they might figure out some kind of shit they could inject maybe or something. I don't know. But
so were you in you weren't in California then, right?
No, I was in Kansas.
Kansas. So the
road made a let me think. The road made a left and I didn't, and I was doing like 100, and I used to get pissed off. You didn't ride 100, you're a fucking punk.
So in Kansas they don't have helmet laws then?
No.
Yeah, same with Arizona, it's just eyewear.
We didn't here until 92.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought I told you that I got a ticket on purpose. The old lady was on New Year's Day. We took off on my bike in San Mateo, and she was wearing a helmet with helmet laws suck on the back. And I wasn't, because I got a ticket on purpose to put on my gas tank, like a fucking right of honor or something. And he fucking called backup, and I'm like, dude, you see,
what?
I pulled over, I was doing it on purpose, and I told him that. He calls fucking backup. I'm like, why are you calling backup? Oh, I didn't know if you were going to be hostile in her helmet, and because it did say helmet laws suck or fuck helmet laws, something, I don't know, but anyway. And then from 92 on, matter of fact, I had one buddy, I wonder where he is, never rode again. Never fucking rode a motorcycle again.
Because helmets?
Yeah.
I mean, I do admire his conviction.
We all went to Indianapolis, and I think a dude had wrecked his Softail, but he had his Panhead. Never did ride it the whole time we were there. He'd have a party. Speaking of eating animals that are your he had a little farm. It's funny, we all came from San Mateo here, big city dudes, got to Indy, and everybody thought they were a fucking farmer. But anyway, so he'd raise pigs, and then on Halloween or somewhere around Halloween, we'd have a party at his place, like being out in the woods somewhere. Mm-hmm. And, you bring your tent and camp out and eat Fred, and, it was a fucking good time. A couple of kegs, but never rode again. And they didn't have a helmet law in Indy, still don't. And he never rode again.
I mean, if you don't stand for something, then you don't stand for anything.
Well, yeah, you got a beard down to here. You look like a fucking biker. You've been all your life, and I don't know. To me, it was stupid. I put a helmet on and rode. Matter how I think I told you about the cop fucking with me about the steel pot, the Army steel pot.
Oh yeah.
Even the judge was like, "Hey."
Well, so tell people again in case they didn't see the last one.
Tell them what? Which one?
About the pot.
The steel pot?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was wearing an Army steel pot. I gave them all away when I moved here. I got rid of more junk. But anyway, I had World War II.
Steel pot meaning like just the helmet, right?
Yeah.
They used to call them steel pots.
They used to have a liner. Mm-hmm. I think it was fiberglass. And then the steel pot went over it. It didn't stop bullets very well. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
But, 5.56 can go right through it.
Yeah, it will help for shrapnel, though.
Yeah, exactly. And shit blowing up and all that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But anyway, you take the steel pot off, fill it with water, and now you're shaving and taking your freaking field shower. And, where was I going with that? Anyway, I had that. I had bunches of them. I was collecting them. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear that steel pot. Fucking A, right? It's a steel pot.
Yeah.
It's a helmet. And that dude, I went to leave where I lived, this apartment. What do you call it? What is that called? A bunch of them all together. There was only one way out.
Like a gated community complex?
No, not gated. Just you go in, and now there's apartments over here, and I think there was even houses. They're just like your cul-de-sac here, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
There's only one fucking way out. And he'd wait there in the morning, and he got me, and, it was like, I don't think you can wear that, and I put it on. I got to go to work. Fuck you. And I took off. And then the next time he gave me it, fuck you can't wear it. Gave me a ticket. Right. And I think it was 3 or 4 times, but I'll do it in 2. So I go to court because it was like $1,300 because the first ticket I got was $275, I think, and I got it on purpose. So now the second one doubles that or triples. I don't even remember. But anyway, so I get there, and I took that. They called me up, and I took that thing, and it's a steel pot in the Army. I wore it in the Army in 1978, and the judge was like, oh, and that cop didn't even look up. He goes, California Vehicle Code 408-940 or whatever the fuck, and the judge was like, well, I put it down to $140. I was like, whoa, thanks, dude. So that was cool, but yeah, I lost that one.
God, I mean, well, it is something.
Well, it ain't DOT. That was the other thing is I think you still can. You could buy a DOT sticker and put it on that fucking dog, So it didn't have a DOT sticker. I think that got me another time. I think it's got to have a DOT sticker. And I'm like, I don't think so, dude. I think that got me out of one more time. It took 3 times to finally get me.
You need to get a tattoo of just a DOT sticker on the back of your head.
That is a fucking... Dude, I've had people tell me to get flames and all kind of crap because when I first shaved my head, nobody was. Now it's common. But when I did... I get called Nazi, all kind of crap. But anyway, but everybody always, you ought to get a tattoo, man. Or I've seen dudes with a little lawnmower where the hair ends.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But DOT, that was, I fucking should have done that. Damn it.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me that 30 years ago?
I was too busy watching Sesame Street.
That's right. Oh, that man I was talking about being in the middle of crap, right? At Sesame Street, I think I was 8 when it started, so I was like too old, right? Mm-hmm. So I didn't. There's a lot of crap I feel like not that I missed out on, but I'm glad I missed on Vietnam, right? But it seems like I've always been in the middle, and not so much a day late, dollar short kind of crap, but just too late for that, too early for this,
Yeah, I mean, I think I know what you mean. I feel like I was a little too late to be in like the hot rod scene back in the day when like you had like.
When you were talking to the girl, your kid, and there was a Model A, and you were like, I can't remember how you were putting. I'm like, dude, there were Model Ts and there were Model. That's how they were. And I was like, damn it, he's too young. Fuck.
And Model Ts, the Model Ts were the ones that they had the like the timing advance on there.
Oh yeah,
on the steering wheel.
Yep.
Model A's didn't have that, right?
No, and also Model A was the first to have a V8 flathead, but a V8. And I think who's the Indiana dude? God damn it. Is it Dillinger? Is it Dillinger? I don't know. One of them even wrote a letter to Henry saying,
oh, yeah.
Thanks for the V8, dude. I can get away from the cops.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole reason NASCAR started,
you ever
right?
came up with. Well, that was for running
moonshine. Yeah. Yeah, man.
But they were robbing banks, Bonnie and Clyde shit. Mm-hmm. And the cops couldn't catch him because he had a flathead V8. The cops still had the 4-banger,
It was that simple back then.
Well, that again, that's what I talk about, what we don't know, and all that crap. If the shit now, if we put you back to 1930, you'd be a fucking genius. You'd be Elon Musk, right? And he ain't a genius. But anyway, they'd think you are.
Maybe. Definitely on the on the investments that I would make.
Well, fucking hey, that's one everybody would do, right? But you know what I mean. There's going to be tires this big. What the fuck's a tire? I mean, you'd be fucking all the shit you don't know what you don't know.
Or like in the 40s during World War II, I'd be like, hey, all those Nazi scientists, the real evil ones. We're going to bring them over here and they're going to start NASA.
We did that.
Yeah, but like just telling people back then, your enemies are now going to come over here and be your scientists. That's wild.
That's how we made the bomb, dude.
Yeah. Well, and we split it up between the Soviets, right? They got some, we got some.
Well, we didn't want one guy knowing everything or one clan. I can't think of what you would call it.
Yeah.
But we didn't, and we knew that's what I mean. We think we're smart, and that was. But then there's other things. I hope nothing's on the dark side of the moon, but for whatever reason, we don't give a shit about China being there. Anyway. I
mean, also...
Sometimes you think the government's... And I don't mean to protect me and all kind of crap like that. I just mean, we think the government's all-knowing. And then you see shit like that, and you're like, well, how the hell were we that stupid?
Or like most recently, like the drone thing. Over like New Jersey and stuff when they were freaking out about all those drones.
Nobody still knows what the hell that was.
Well, it stopped like the week before election or week before inauguration, not even election, It's just like,
and how weird. Come every airplane has a green light and a red light and a white light, right? And they flash. You just look at, we're by the airport. You can see it every night. Some of those did, some didn't. Obviously, the ones that didn't had to be drones, right? Unless you're flying. We flew lights out on helicopters in the Army or an Air Force, if you know what you're doing, especially B-52s and shit. You got to have a lot of room, but they might cut the lights, land, offload the bitch, and then fire the lights up and take the fuck off.
Yeah.
Because now, I'm too fast for you to shoot down back then.
Well,
but,
I actually, when I was just starting flight school, I didn't realize that the landing lights in the plane weren't working. And so
the tower doesn't know.
They can see my red and green, but like my landing light, that's mainly, it's a lot for me, it's like wasn't working. And I was like, okay. And now like landing in the dark, it's nothing. It is pretty cool. Like, you've gone into like an uncontrolled airport, right?
Oh, 100 times.
Where you have to like click, 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 and you can turn the lights on yourself.
Oh, yeah. Or
I think that's so cool.
The other thing we used to do too is just, and you have to, is just say, November 8940, landing at Josh Airport. Any traffic in the way, I'm lined up for runway 28, and you're just telling if anybody's around, I'm going to go first, or I can go, dude, I'm already there. Oh, shit. Now I get out of the way because there's no fucking tower. You know that.
I always it's so, and I don't want to like maybe give it away, but uncontrolled airports should be like the hub of smuggling, because nobody's ever there. Like you could easily land there from anywhere.
Well, since you bring that up, do you know how many fucking farmers there probably, and I don't know the number or where or when, why, but I bet there's thousands of farmers that got one little cleared out place in the corn patch where the fucking Mexican gave him $500,000. He's been doing it for 5 years. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because you're not going to land, a 737 in Denver full of fucking, I was going to say pot. That ain't shit anymore. Full of whatever the fuck, fentanyl. I don't even know what fentanyl is, but anyway.
Well, it's a synthetic
I know
opiate.
It kills you.
Yeah, it's just way more powerful than.
But do like doctors give it to you?
Yeah.
So it is.
You can.
Legal is probably not the right word, but it is used for therapy or whatever.
It is. Yeah.
Because I'm just sitting here thinking, why in the fuck would you make a drug that's killing your customers? You're an idiot.
It's way more powerful and it's way cheaper to make than.
But you're killing your fucking customers. Hello, that doesn't make any sense to me.
But that's the point.
If you told me you're selling me a fentanyl pill like a Quaalude, that's whatever the fuck, I don't know, 10 cc's or whatever, not cc's, good God, that'd be a lot. But 10 micrograms or whatever the fuck. And, it's like a Quaalude. Hell, I might buy one, but never knowing whether it's going to kill you or not. If I had kids, I'd be freaking.
But think of this as their
Thank
business
God
model.
You got a girl.
We are not their customers. The people that buy the drugs from them are not their customers. Their customers are China, selling it to them so they can perform a service for China in killing Americans with the fentanyl. That's the business model.
Damn, now that sounds like conspiracy theory crap, but it also makes sense. I never even thought of that. Wow.
Hey,
you're a fucking genius.
Hey, and it's not even 1930.
You should go to the dark side of the moon.
I mean, that's the side to go on. That's the side you don't see, because the moon is always faced the same way at us,
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
You don't get any other view.
Man, and there's supposed to be, I want to say like pretty soon, there's supposed to be this world-ending meteor that's supposed to pass right between us and the moon.
Oh, yeah. But didn't they say it's going to get, like it was supposed to come here, but now it's going to be way the fuck out here? I thought they already said
I don't know.
They were misguided. I don't know.
I don't know. But imagine that thing hits the moon. It's all over.
Even it doesn't even have to hit. If it goes, this is us. If it goes by like that, hell, just the storm, can fuck with you.
Yeah. And
hell, what if that spun the moon around? Now the dark side's the.
Then all the Chinese guys on there like, oh, they can see us.
They start falling off. No, that'd be wild. Falling off the moon.
Well, if the moon
that sounds
goes,
like a song. Falling off the moon.
Eventually, the moon will be gone.
Well, eventually everything will be gone.
Because
right?
it's in an orbit that's getting further and further and further away each time.
It is?
So yeah. So eventually it'll be
Damn,
gone.
I'm an idiot.
It'll be gone, and that'll be like the end of things. Because the winds will go to like 200 miles an hour. The tides will be crazy.
Do we already know that? Well, because of magnetics. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so. Oh, shit.
So it is a dying planet. It is doomed regardless. We can't like lasso that moon and bring it closer. I mean, maybe we can, but
I was just going to say, who the hell was that movie? He brought it closer. What's his name? Damn it. The Canadian dude. Remember he was trying to get, was it Jennifer Aniston?
Canadian
He
guy?
brought the moon. Well, no, I mean, it's a movie. And he brought the moon closer. She was like, oh my God, look at how close the moon, or how bright the moon is.
Really?
What's his fucking name? Who played God?
Oh, is that Bruce Almighty?
Is it Bruce? Well,
Evan Almighty?
Yes, Bruce, not the Office guy.
Yeah, Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey, thank you.
Yeah, Jim Carrey was Bruce Almighty, and then Evan Almighty.
I was going to do the fireman guy.
Oh, yeah.
Fire Chief Bill.
That's it. That, if you go back and watch any of those in Living Color episodes,
Oh,
it's
they were
like,
fucking great. I remember when they were on. So
well, and then he goes in there and it's like, he goes in there in some ordering, like he's ordering food or something. And he's like, by the way, I'm gay, like makes it like really known. It's like, okay.
Well, and the thing was too, is he was the only white dude. So that already fucked with you for an episode or two. And then they just played on that. It seemed like to me.
Yeah. Jennifer Aniston, she's on those Epstein lists, right?
Probably.
Yeah. You know what? We were just talking about this guy. Stephen Hawking is on there as well.
Fuck you for what?
Epstein's list.
He couldn't fuck. Far as
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
he likes
you know
to
what
look.
though?
He likes to
I was
watch.
just going to say maybe you want to watch. Well, the only one in the fucking plane with his ass is Trump. That's all I know. You don't see Biden on the fucking plane with him.
No, he couldn't get up the stairs.
And I don't care if Costner or whoever the fuck else is. They don't matter. But that's one of the problems I have with Trump is, look at the position you're in. You can't call people names and talk shit and belittle motherfuckers and just talk cash shit when you're president. Me and you can here because we're just a couple of idiots. But if you're president of the goddamn
You just said I was a genius.
Well, you're smarter than Trump now. But no, but I mean, you can't talk shit in that position. And he just acts like he's on a fucking schoolyard playground and shit, and it kills me.
I think we could use another beer.
He keeps saying Gavin Newscomb. What the fuck, dude? Grow up. Speaking of the devil, that's the other thing about the goddamn lithium we have to get from commie countries. Fuck electric cars.
Yeah.
And if you had an electric car and you came to stay with me for a week or something, there's no goddamn way that's going to my garage. I wouldn't let you put a scooter in my garage. Those batteries, when they go, they go.
Oh, you mean exploding?
Yes.
Yeah. And catching fire.
Once they start cooking, we have bags on the planes now. So when your phone cooks off, we put it in the bag because you can't put it out. It's not like you put it in the sink and, or fly. We went through this last time I was here. The toilet is not like your toilet in the house. So you can't throw a burning fucking phone down the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
It's still on the plane and goes to a tank. All we do is kind of run the water a little better and make it bluer.
Do they release the tanks in the sky?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Now what happens is it's got a leak. Now let's say it's doink, doink, doink. Well, because you're up there 30 below that makes contrails, no fucking chemicals. Now you can put something in, I guess. I never knew about that. But anyway, contrails are just fucking frozen exhaust. Anyway, so that just sits there and freezes and freezes and freezes. And it gets as big as about 3 beer bottles and then falls off.
Oh.
It's a hole in your fucking garage here, smashes your Camaro, and it's a big blue ice cube.
Yeah, because at that speed, terminal velocity becomes a missile.
39.9. We went through that too last time I was here. Hell, we're done talking, kind of. Every time we bring something up, we're like, we already said that.
Well, it's just I watched this thing about like if there was like an alien invasion here, right? So you wouldn't even need. All you would need to do would be to drop metal poles from space. And each one of those is like a missile when it hits. You know, you wouldn't even need any kind of munitions. You would just need matter.
Well, one of the things that I always wonder about, because there has to be some kind of, and this is my opinion, there has to be some kind of world, we all agreed on something. I mean, like right now, why can't we just send a drone to, is it St. Petersburg now, whatever, Moscow, and bomb whatever the fuck building Putin's in? Why can't they just drop one right on the White House? Must have some kind of fucking agreement. And that's why we want domes. And by the way, you know Israel has one, right? Anyway, that we buy a lot of shit from them, believe it or not. We sell them the F-16, but they sell us avionics. And
well, yeah, I mean...
Because Mossad's badass. I would not fuck with Mossad. I'd rather fuck with Secret Service than Mossad.
So speaking of Mossad, that's why we'll never figure out Epstein. That's why we'll never... It's not because... so-and-so was on the plane or this and that. It's because he was Mossad and he was acting as a honeypot for you know,
that's what they say about you, said.
And that's what they say also about, you know, Harvey Weinstein. That's what they say about
Weinstein.
Diddy.
He was just an asshole. So was Diddy.
But it's all the same thing. It's like, I've got this on you now, so I own you. It's that kind of mentality. It's, I have this on you.
I get that. You know? But
for him, it was his own personal gain too. I think... Obviously, for all of them, it was all kind of some personal gain. They got something out of it, right? Something sexual.
Well, quite honestly, okay, we know what Epstein did, right? And he's a rich cocksucker, and he's got an airplane. I need a ride to Cuba. Why did I say Cuba? But anyway, I need a ride to Cuba. He gives me a ride. That doesn't mean I was banging bitches on his plane. Right. I just got a ride to Cuba, you know? So I'll give people that benefit of the doubt. Maybe Trump, too. I don't know. But when you see his history... I'm pretty sure he was on the plane for a reason.
But you also like the weird stuff that's in there. Like if you look and just the pictures, just study the pictures and go deep into a picture. Like his library, right? There's a bunch of like satanic books. There's a bunch of weird stuff in there.
Yeah, but people are into all kind of crap, dude.
But also those murals, those pictures that were in his, the one with Bill Clinton and the blue dress on.
What the fuck?
You didn't see these?
You mean he's wearing Monica Lewinsky's dress?
Oh, Jeff, I got to show you these.
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah.
That's fucking
That was a picture. That was a picture up. It's a painting.
The dress that fucking he netted on, right?
I'm sure.
Isn't that Lewinsky's dress?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I dropped my mic.
But this picture was up inside Epstein's house.
That's
right?
fucking great.
But here's one that's
Where
a little...
the hell did he get shoes that big? Anyway.
This one's kind of more disturbing.
Well, he was an idiot. I remember when he was president, I was in Waco.
But he's playing with paper airplanes, and
he's a little kid. He's dumber than shit.
They knocked down these towers, though. These block towers.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't even think of that. I didn't even put two and two together.
See, there's two towers, two planes, and he's playing with it.
Son of a fucking bitch. Well, there was a big conspiracy theory thing on 9/11 on fucking PBS. But they make it a point to tell you this is, you know, conspiracy theory shit or whatever. Like a lot of the cops and firemen that did get out before the shit fell reported hearing pow, 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 like when they down buildings. What's that called?
Like demolition.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
one of the buildings did get demolished.
He's in the stairwell. Well, they're saying from the planes, though. What I'm saying is maybe there was. If firemen are saying they were hearing pop, 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 pop in the stairwells because they're not going to take the elevator, maybe it was. I mean, I'd choose not to believe it, but fuck, I don't know.
I mean, it's something I don't want to believe either. You know, like
I told you, it was my fucking plane.
But I couldn't put it past our government to do that. I couldn't put it past them.
I wouldn't put it past our government to do anything. We're going to end up in trouble, but
you know, and then like all of a sudden, you know, they say that there was some like dancing Israelis outside, and when they saw the towers
there's
go.
There's a Trump one. Oh, damn it. I was going to bring up another Trump fucking stupid thing. But anyway, I don't know. And if they were, I mean, I'd probably be dancing if commies were dying or something. I don't know. If Putin was getting tortured, I'd probably party. Hell, if Trump died, I'd party.
Well, the reason they were dancing, allegedly, is because now they have a reason for the U.S. to get inside all these wars and basically go to war for them.
Yeah.
Against all their enemies.
All right.
Which is what happened.
Yeah. I'm with you.
There
was nothing in Iraq. Speaking of fucking Bush, there were no weapons of mass destruction. And what's his name just died? The black dude.
Colin Powell?
Yes.
He died?
Yeah. Even he said there wasn't any. I'm sorry, we fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But we invaded. And then I remember reading a thing, because when newspapers were a thing, I would always read the editorial crap. And one guy was saying, maybe Bush is a fucking genius, putting us dead in the middle of Arabia pretty much. Now we can kind of half-ass control these idiots. And I was like, damn, I hate to believe that, but that's kind of genius.
It would have been Cheney and not him, though.
Well, we can argue about that, too. Cheney was president in my mind, but...
Cheney is probably one of the most evil people.
Fuck yeah.
That in modern times.
Yep. I don't think he was worse than
Putin.
The Russian dude. No, the Russian dude that's for us. He just died too at 100.
Starting with a K, right?
Huh?
Started with a K.
What's his fucking name? Damn it. All I can think of is a movie director guy, and that's not him. Come on, he was under Nixon.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
What is Secretary of State, I think?
Yeah.
Anyway, he was an evil asshole. He's the one. A lot of people think he's the one that started Vietnam. But
yeah, I know who you mean.
Christ, how am I forgetting this? And I want to sit here and be pissed off about my age or something, but I think it's just
Kissinger. That's right.
Kissinger. Thank you. God damn it.
Yeah, Kissinger. That's right. I knew it started with a K.
Oh, yeah, you did say that. Damn, boy.
Yeah.
That should have helped me.
Well, they say, because you mentioned Nixon, they say that that was, all his things, he would always say, I'm a patsy, because he was apparently digging into the JFK stuff. And he was like, I think I know what happened to him.
Well, you've heard shit that he took away the gold standard, and that's or wanted to keep the gold standard, and that was one of some people say that is the reason he got killed.
Yeah. But then you have
But, that's the thing about conspiracy theories. I can sit here and make something up and make it sound fucking feasible. And if I can get a MAGA cocksucker, I'm good.
I mean, you look back and Bob Woodward and Bernstein, they were the ones that took those, right?
Yep.
Bob Woodward was Air Force intelligence, and his first ever job in any kind of journalistic form was this story. So he was given the Watergate story as a breaking story for
the Deep Throat dude told those guys in the parking garage or whatever it was. Yeah.
But that doesn't scream like odd that it's like this guy was Navy or Air Force intelligence, and he just decided one day to be a journalist.
See, that's again with the conspiracy theory crap. You're adding a fact that probably meant shit. To me, it doesn't, but maybe it could. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I mean, I was in the Army. Does that make me fucking some kind of evil genius or an idiot? Well, yeah, it kind of made me an idiot.
I mean, Katy Perry went to space. That means she's an astronaut.
Oh, God. Don't get me started on that now. Because it's hard to argue. You did go. You were weightless. But you're an idiot. I mean, well, she's fucking hot. But anyway, you're an idiot. You're not an astronaut.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a... I don't know. I've never been there, right?
Was it 250,000 they want? I'd fucking do it.
I thought it was 1.5.
I don't give a fuck. I need to win the lottery, so it doesn't matter.
I actually knew a guy.
But if I did, I'd fucking go.
I knew a guy. He was. I used to fly with him a lot. He pretty well off, but he even back then. I think it was like 15 years ago, right? He was paying Russian cosmonauts. So he could get trained and he could go up because they were doing that shit way before we were doing the pay to go up kind of stuff.
Yes, they were. And the thing that I remember too is what's the British guy? He's got the airplane one that goes way the fuck up.
Virgin Atlantic,
yes.
Virgin Galactic, I guess now.
He was gonna make it. He made it a pretty good number, But I heard, I don't know which one it is, if it's SpaceX or Amazon, but one of them I thought was 250 grand. I'm thinking, fuck, that ain't actually a bad deal.
I think that might be the Virgin Galactic one. Because
maybe that's what I'm thinking. Because that fell through. So.
That's not a rocket; it's a space plane.
It's a plane that goes way the fuck up. Yeah,
yeah. It has massive wings. Huh? Yeah. You have to have that because the air's so thin. There's nothing to cut through.
Dude, every airplane is a flying gas tank. You know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the wings are dinks.
That's it.
Yeah, except for the tankers, right?
What tankers? The refuelers, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, they're the wings are still. The airplane has to have its own.
Right,
fuel.
that's the gas of the airplane, right?
Tank inside. It'd be like, okay, take your back seat out. This is what we used to do on helicopters. Take your back seat out, and we put a fuel bladder in there. Now you don't have to fucking pit stop.
Right.
That's all they're doing.
Or like the drop tanks.
Now I'm fucking filling airplanes instead of, But the wings, and there's two in the center tanks we call them. That the 67 or 707. Can you believe we're flying airplanes older than me? But anyway,
707 was that the first ones?
Okay. And then KC-10s or DC-10s, and now we got 67s doing it. But anyway, that plane has to have its own shit. It's got the airplane is still an airplane. Mm-hmm. Now you just filled a bunch of shit to put gas in it, but the airplane is still. We're not using the gas out of wings to refuel. F-16s or anything.
Speaking of that, have you? So I told you that obviously we know about the F-47 coming out, right?
God, that just annoys me hearing that. But anyway, yeah.
Why though?
Because fuck him.
Fuck Boeing?
No, fuck Trump. Oh, you're not getting a 47. No wonder you're not mad. Fuck.
I don't know. I think that might be a coincidence. I think that might be a coincidence.
I don't think it is.
Because didn't they have that when Lockheed and Boeing had their first thing?
FA 118 and all the crap, but that you're making my point if you ask me again. Why is it 47? Why ain't it 57? Why ain't it fucking 50 for that matter? Because a B-52 is a bomber. That's why it's B. Right? So why isn't it F-50?
Or, well, I mean, we're not even in the 40s. We shouldn't be.
F is fighter. Well, I know, but I'm just saying it's 47 because of asshole. And I think what really bothers me is, first of all, we've talked that in my mind, there shouldn't even be a billionaire. Nobody needs 1,000 million. I bet if I gave you 50, just 50 million, you couldn't spend it all before you died.
Yeah, I mean, if you take $1 million out of $1 billion, it's still pretty much $1 billion.
It's 1,000 million. So when you sent me the gas tank crap, right? The 3 or 4 people I bitched to that I talked to, I only have 3 or 4 friends. Anyway, I'm always bitching I can't work on my truck or whatever, or it takes me a long time to do something because I got nobody to work with, right? So when you sent me the gas tank, I was like, fucking Josh, goddamn, he needs help. I need help. Why the fuck?
Yeah,
damn it. Why didn't I think of that?
Give me a jingle.
Because, I mean, I got my tank hung. It took me a while, but yeah, jacking it up, it falls off. God damn it, got to get back up. And I'm crippled, so now I'm trying to get up off the fucking ground, put the tank back on the jack, put it under there without falling off there, getting back under there. And, oh, Christ.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously if you're there, just like your tank, which is way easier than mine, not anymore. I made new mounts, but anyway, it's just so much easier with 2 dudes. Everything is. You can't put an engine in alone.
Yeah. And you tend to not yell as much when you have somebody else around.
Maybe not me.
Well, maybe, okay. Scream.
I'm a pissed off bastard.
Because I'll be in here and I'll be like, God fucking damn. Just
me too.
But when I'm here, I'll be like, this piece of shit. When somebody else is here.
That's kind of true. Especially when you're really losing it and the other guy laughs. Then you're kind of like, oh, fuck. All right.
Fuck you. I'm mad at you.
I'm acting like an idiot. Damn it.
Yeah.
But and this is bad too because you're in a little cul-de-sac, but where I'm at, same thing. I'm in the end and we have a big cement wall that's Elkhorn. So everything in my garage is through the whole fucking neighborhood. I bet I've taught every neighbor new words.
Yeah. I tell them, I have told them a lot of times, I'd be like, hey,
I've done the same. Not here, but I have.
I'm gonna be doing this weekend, so keep the doors closed.
Yeah, or me.
Yeah. And they know because I've been here yelling But then they see me like come out and I've like got black shit all over me and just like I'm just drenched in sweat.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I don't envy him.
when I was in Denver, speaking of the airport, no matter where the fuck we lived, I was always 30 miles from work. I don't understand all the way south, all the way to north.
Damn it.
Anyway, I know. And I always rode. If I wasn't fucked up, I would have rode here. But so 5 a.m, blah, 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 blah. So I put my helmet on and all my shit because it's freezing. And, and so then on the weekend when I'm like, God damn it, under my car or whatever on a bike, I wonder why I didn't have any friends. And I was like, well, of course I don't have any fucking friends. They've always heard me yelling and shit and throwing crap. And because the guy that bought my house, first of all, we sold the house. The old lady moved back. And then I moved next door to their basement, rented their room until I got another place 30 miles down south. But anyway, the guy in that house wasn't even there a couple of months, and chicks were coming over from across the street, and and I'd seen him but didn't know him or anything. And I was like, well, how come he knows all the neighbors and shit? They never came and talked to me. Well, it's because I'm in the garage going, goddamn motherfucker,
Those are the people that I kind of gravitate towards, though. So it's kind of like, we need to know
I heard
those
your
guys.
ass, I'd come over and be like, dude, you need a hand, man? Fucking A, that thing's badass. Yeah. But there were none of those.
Oh, that's rough.
And then plus he was, there's some guys that are just like they kind of piss me off sometimes. They're just, how do you put this? Because I'm going to sound petty, but they're just genuinely nice fucking guys. And you're like, why is he so nice? He's a fucking asshole. Anyway. He was like that too. He was just when he met me. Oh yeah, I own this house. What do you think of the deck I built? Oh, I had to redo that. But he was still the nicest fucking guy. I was like, damn, fuck this guy. No wonder the neighbors come over and see him.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Why is he so nice?
I got a buddy like that. He's getting dementia or something, but he was like that. I'll never forget.
Oh well, that's why he's meeting new friends every day.
Yeah. When we worked in San Francisco and I smoked, everybody's out in the smoke area. And this one guy was always talking, fucking that Dan guy, man. Why is he so nice? Why is he always so happy? Something's wrong with that motherfucker. I don't get it. He's a fucking ass. And
Dan gets laid every morning.
When he was like that, I was like, damn, he's a dick. but now I'm doing it too.
Oh, God.
But no, but getting back to where we started, this is caught in a moment shit. But anyway, Trump, just because you got a lot of money or whatever, you're not just automatically smart. And I don't like that like people think that about Musk. He didn't invent Tesla. He fucking bought it. And then he fucking slave drove everybody in Fremont there.
Well, he was the head engineer.
The head engineer? No, he wasn't.
He developed that, their architecture, basically.
For the Tesla or the building?
For like the newest generation of what you see in electric cars, where they have the battery and the motors, rather than what we used to have. Like, you remember? I think it was called was it a Chevette? Was that the electric car that they had?
No, the Volt Chevette was just a little piece of shit.
I mean, but like electric cars, I'm talking like before the 90s, or during the 90s.
We didn't have any.
We did.
What?
There was.
We had the Chevy Volt, and I can't remember. It only went like 100 miles or something.
Well, the Volt was actually
still around.
The Volt, that was actually a pretty good idea because it was electrically. It was an electric first car.
That's a hybrid I just drove here in.
Oh, okay, yeah, but those were electric. They were primary.
They were all electric.
They were primary electric with a gas generator.
No, that's hybrid. That's what I got.
But you look at like a Prius, and they are gas first with an electric assist.
That's what I got.
Yeah, yeah. But
when I hit the brakes, it charges the battery.
Yeah, but
the
Volt
battery is a giant son of a bitch under the car.
Yeah, but the Volt, you can literally drive. I think they have like a 50-mile range at the beginning for electric only, and then the generator kicks in and charges the car while it's going. But if you only drive, let's say you live 15 miles from work.
We went through this. I told you that when that's my wife's car.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm driving, and when she drove it, if you didn't fire the heat or the air up, because it has to run the engine for the heat or the air, and you're going down the street to 7-Eleven. The fucking thing never fires up.
What is that?
It's a Ford Fusion.
Ford Fusion. Okay.
But if you put the air on, or just leave it on like it's always on, right? When you get in, the engine will start because it's got to fire the engine up to compress the shit so you can have air. But if you
same thing.
But I can get in on Saturday morning and fire it up, turn the air off, back up, go around my little cul-de-sac and park because I got to get my vet out. I'm just moving it to get the vet out. But anyway, it just never fires up, never does nothing. And she used to go to the store like that in little shithole Junction City. And now my son's going to hate that. Anyway, she could drive all over that son of a bitch and the engine never fired up. My mother had one here in San Mateo.
Oh.
And I'd get in that. She'd drive all around. I'd be talking to her and crap, and I'm visiting from Indiana or Kansas, and this was great. And I don't give a shit about your car, whatever. Who cares, right? But I'm seeing mom and everything's great, right? Well, then I'd get in the car to go to neighborhood haunts or whatever when I was a kid. And the motor never shut off. And I was like, what the fuck? Well, it's because I'm going, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, because you got your foot in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And then, like I say, with the old lady is when I realized if she fires, because women always got to have it 70, no matter what. Anyway, so if she had the heat or the air on, it's going to fire up to give you that. But you could drive that car if you just be nice and slow and deliberate, because the brakes charge the battery too. So just going and stopping, there's charge the battery, going and stopping. And it's got a little thing that shows you it's doing it and everything. Maybe we ought to take a ride in that thing. Anyway.
Yeah, well, so then that is the same kind of concept as like a Chevy Volt.
I thought the Volt was just all electric.
No, that's the Bolt.
Oh, fuck me. You know what? The dude I was arguing with at Chili's last night, we just had the same fucking argument. He said the Volt was the greatest. And I'm like, I got one in the parking lot, dude. But, it ain't a Volt, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, then they have the Chevy Spark, which is a smaller version of the Bolt.
That's just a Chevette.
Yeah.
You said Chevette. To me, that's an electric Chevette.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my wife wants one. And so it's like they're pretty cheap. And they're electric. And we can just plug it in here.
Yeah.
Because the Yukon that we got, you saw the new Yukon out there. It's like, it's got the 6.2 in it and everything, but it eats gas even more than my other Yukon does.
Oh, dude.
It eats it up.
Yep. And that's another thing. This fucking car, when I was in Kansas, I hated it. But in Kansas, shithole Kansas. Sorry, Junior. Everybody's got a truck.
Yeah.
And a freaking, Yukon or whatever, because I don't care about gas mileage and all that shit. Gas is $3 and I'm only going 2 miles. Mm-hmm. But now here, that little fucking car, I love that son of a bitch. I'd never give it back to her now.
Yeah, well, that's all the reason why, like, my wife's thinking of getting an electric car to kind of offset, And we sell the Honda and the old Yukon,
Well, let me play salesman here real quick. You can do that and speak of the devil, Tesla has the battery pack you put on your wall to charge the car and all that. Ford does too, I think. And that's great. I'm not saying not to. But I like the hybrid because if you do want to go to New York and not spend $3,000 in gas, you can go because the engine's going to run still. And, you'll get gas in, I'm trying to think of some shit city in Nevada.
Yeah. Well,
and make it, because it's going to run on gas. It runs battery a lot. And like I say, I should show it to you. You can see, because it tells you when you hit your brakes, if you just 100% recharge, right? Then other times, oh shit, and then it's like 50. Damn it. It didn't, because it needs that momentum to charge, even though it's the brakes doing it, it needs the momentum.
Right. The longer that you have the brake, the better it charges. Yep. Yeah. Not like pressing it in. It doesn't like automatically charge like that.
It doesn't like that. No.
No.
Matter of fact, that probably stops charging if you really slam them.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I like about that car is, first of all, it's great for around here because I can't imagine. Well, that's what I was telling that dude too is I can't even get the gas mileage I get on this thing on a bike. I've never gotten 40 miles a gallon on a motorcycle.
Oh, really?
Fuck no, because I'm got to go 100.
Oh.
And I don't, even if I'm not doing 100, which I probably wouldn't now.
But it's also a Harley though, right?
Well, of course.
Okay.
But even my Hondas, I mean, I've had a million. I think I've had every run there is. But anyway, just because, you're on a motorcycle, I ain't going to drive my vet like a fucking idiot. You know? Well, I am going to drive like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because the vet belongs in the museum.
Yeah, that's you driving like an idiot, like because you're being badass, not because you're being an idiot trying to save gas. Who the fuck drives a vet to save gas?
Well, my stepdad did. He got 30 miles to the gallon in his C6.
Was he fucking doing it on purpose? I mean,
to get good mileage,
to make it a point. Yeah,
he would drive to and from work in it, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, they are pretty economical if you have a 6-speed.
Well, anything,
and you keep your foot out of it.
Yeah, I got a 6-speed, you know.
Yeah,
but yeah, you could say that about anything, really. But I'll be going down to Thomas, and the guy's—he's not looking up. I think he's not looking up at the light and all that, right? If it's green and he's not hauling ass to make the fucking green light. And I'm right on that. I'll argue all day. But then there's other times where I'm like, because I'm the guy that's whoop, whoop all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I'm behind him. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I realize he's just trying to save gas. Why the fuck should he get up to 45, even though that's the speed limit, when the light's still red up there? He did look. You know, he's just being cool on his gas. Damn it. So I'm trying to get mellower so I don't get my ass whipped.
Well, you know, cars, they've tried to come up with all kinds of fun little weird things to make it get better gas mileage in a gas engine.
Turn
you know,
it
like
off and turn it on, yeah.
Well, I hate that.
Everybody hates that.
I hate that, first of all. So I made sure that we didn't get a car that had that.
Well, they've got a thing you just plug in your OBD port. And it bypasses it.
Well, now they have active fuel management and dynamic fuel management, right? So they take the V8 and they turn it to 4-cylinder for sometimes.
Scott's Vet's like that.
But that will kill the lifters.
Can turn it off.
If you have to turn it off. It will kill the lifters.
You know that. Oh, I can't believe it, dude. Nice.
Well, so I drive in 5th because it's, you know, it's a 6-speed in our Yukon. So it's like if you drive in 5th, and I'm not talking like it's always in 5th. It's like, you know, 1 to 5.
Okay.
But if you're in 5th instead of drive or manual 6, then it doesn't come on.
My Corvette it's called, fuck. So you take off in 1st, go to 2nd, and then from 2nd to 5th. And it even gives you a shift light. They've got a name for it.
Oh,
you probably have that.
It goes from 2nd to 4th, right?
No, 5th.
5th?
Yeah. But I cruise my Vet in 5th almost all the time, everywhere.
It's almost like a lockout. Like it's a VATS, right?
It tells you it's okay to shift to 5th.
CAGs.
What the hell are you talking about?
It's that's what they call it. It's
on my Corvette they call it something like a shift light or whatever. But my point is, and you know this, 1st, 2nd, and then just go to 5th. You're only going to do 45, you know. Now, if you want to floor it and haul ass to pass somebody, you got to go back down to 3rd. You know how good I am now at doing this? 3rd, 5th.
Yeah, CAGs.
Yeah, there's CAGs. Now, wait.
Right here.
Hang on, vehicle. Coolant temp must be... I didn't know the coolant temp.
Because it's supposed
Barometric pressure must be... What the fuck? Are you sure that's on GMs?
Yeah. The government made
that
GM
sounds
put
like
CAGs on
German
the 6
shit
speeds.
to me. That sounds like BMW crap.
It was, but you know, with BMW, they over-engineer it and it works right.
That's what I'm saying.
GM, they under-engineer it and it works for
and
a week.
Urinate on it, no.
But it was the skip shift, right? The skip shift eliminator.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Skip shift.
So for mine,
because it's in my book. You can, read how to use it and all that. I just do it because it's convenient.
For my T56, it was you shift from 1st to 2nd.
Yeah.
And then, it is to 5th.
Yeah.
Because it goes like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
1st, 2nd, all the way over here. And then your brother fucks around, you go to 3rd.
Yeah.
So I say I'm really good at doing this.
Yeah, it's such a, I mean, it's no wonder that you see so many T56s with killed synchros. You know?
I never thought of that.
Because of that. Especially that third gear.
How come the C6 works?
What do you mean?
The C6, in mine, it's a German. They're in the Dodges, too.
That's a C6, not a T56?
Yeah. CF6.
They must not have put those in there.
In yours? Is that what you're saying?
Well, in the T56, they would put the skip shift in there. But in a C6, they must not. In a CF6, they must not put that skip shift in there.
No, I do have it. That's what I said.
Oh, really?
It's even in my book. And it's supposedly it has a light. I've never seen the light.
Yeah.
One of the problems I got is that stupid dash that was state of the art in 91 is just shit. Now I can't see shit. I'm doing one of these. I'm doing this. I'm trying to get the sun out of it.
Yeah.
Right, that car could blow up knowing my fucking luck. But
well, I hope not. There's not a whole lot of them left.
Yeah. Supposedly there's first, whoop, second, whoop, and then there's a light that tells you go ahead and go to 5th.
Oh, wait.
And I've never seen that fucking light. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work because I do have the chip. Remember, I don't have to turn my key on and all that.
I think it may have been a 1st to 4th.
No, it's 5th.
Man, for some reason, I thought it was always... God.
Because 1st and 2nd, hell, you can do 50 in 2nd. Go ahead and go to 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going, whoa, you're not whining the fuck out of it. You're just,
Yeah, right here. It's
just going down to Thomas. I put it in 5th all the time.
CAGS makes you shift from 1st to 4th. So it may be different in a CF6 then. It may be 2nd to 5th then. Your skip shift.
Mine is, I know. That's what I say. It's in my book.
Because I remember doing mine and trying to put it down and it would go.
Oh, no. Now, hang on. The thing is, you don't have to use that.
Yeah. If you rev it.
And mine is just a light that says you can.
Oh,
you
really?
You don't have to. It's not going to not let you go to 3rd or 4th or whatever. It's just to save gas and, save your engine, I guess.
Oh, because mine, it actually it would almost modify the gates and make it so that you had to go this way.
So you have to go to 5th. But if you were racing, that's bullshit.
If you're racing,
sure about that?
If you're racing and you're hauling ass, it doesn't do it. If you're hauling ass, it doesn't lock you out and it doesn't modify the gates because it can tell the RPMs and whatever else.
Well, that thing even said ambient temperature and all kind of stupid shit. But
yeah, but if you're just leisurely, then it's gonna go right into 4th.
It won't let you. Huh? Because that physically doesn't stop me. It's just telling you can go to 5th. You want to save gas, idiot.
Yeah.
Quit flooring it, trying to follow your brother. That's what they ought to have. Little fucking what's that Knight Rider thing that's talking to you? You could go to 5th, but I know you're an idiot. Floor it.
That guy's still around. He was the neighbor and the teacher in Boy Meets World. You know the show Boy Meets World?
Yeah, I never watched it. But
that guy was the voice of Kit. Yeah.
Oh, he was also, wasn't he Charlie's Angels or something too?
Oh, was he?
Something like that. I thought he was somebody else too, like Charlie's Angels or something. Maybe it's Boy Meets World. I've never seen Boy Meets World in my life.
No.
Dude, I told you, I was always in the middle of crap.
TGIF,
You wouldn't believe the fucking shows I've never seen that people go, what? And a lot of it too, and I hate to be this way just because I'm being an asshole, is I don't give a shit. Boy Meets World, who gives a fuck? Fuck that kid. Should be meeting chicks. He's an idiot.
Oh, colorful as always, Jeff.
Well, no. I'm just thinking, to me, I'm telling it like it is, but I'm telling it like it is for me, I guess, right?
Yeah.
If you like Boy Meets World, I don't give a shit. If you're gay or trans or all that crap, I don't give a fuck, but I don't need it in my face either.
You sound like my wife.
Fucking yesterday. And it didn't really bother me. I don't give a shit, but I noticed. So we're at this train museum in Sassoon. It was badass. You need to go. I recommend that. Anyway,
Oh, yeah. Your brother told me about that.
it was fucking great. When did you talk to him?
Every day I pick up the kid.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was badass. And so I got to get a water and shit, and I'm, it's hotter than fuck. And I go in where I see these two dudes, and this is what I don't get. Anyway, he's got shaved head, but then his hair's blue, and he's got a little tiny, it's not even as big as my thumb, ponytail or whatever the fuck.
That's his piece of flair.
All I keep thinking about is that what is it, Bugs Bunny, the big red guy or something. Anyway, he's got that little tiny blue fucking thing as big as my thumb.
Well, it's for the ceremony. So when he graduates, he puts it on the other side.
He's with a black dude, his boyfriend, and he's got fucking pink hair and some kind of little rabbit ear, or not rabbit ears, some little, what are they, cat ears? I don't know.
Fox ears or something? Like cat ears, yeah.
It's clearly...
Is it his hair or is it like a headband?
No, it's a fucking, headband thing. They're wearing like a half a jean jacket. It's 104 fucking degrees. He's wearing half a jean jacket. They're both dressed, not great or bad, just, I guess, to let you know they're gay or they're stylish or whatever. But it's 104, fool,
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I mean. It doesn't bother me. I could give a shit, but I noticed it.
I always think that people that are wearing like heavy jackets or sweatshirts when it's really hot, I think they're aliens.
How many times you go down to Thomas? It's 100 degrees. I thought I might not use my air. I got the windows down. Oh, fuck you. Now I put the windows up and turn the air on. And there's a dude in a sweatshirt with the fucking hoodie up.
A kid.
What the? Yeah, it's always a kid.
It's always a kid.
What the hell is that?
I don't know, man.
I'm 64 years old. I'm supposed to be cold, not your fucking 12-year-old ass.
Yeah, how do you have the bad circulation?
Fuck.
I don't know, Jeff.
We were supposed to talk about what? Oh, airplanes and shit. Okay,
Well, we talked about the F-47.
Oh, fuck you.
I was just interested in like because it has drone wingmen in it.
Check this out, dude. You know he wants to take that 747-400, or it's an 800, I think.
Is it?
From fucking the Qataris and make it Air Force One. Okay, this is what my dumb ass knows with no clearance. There's anti-missile on it. There's radio jammers. There's computer jammers. There's all kind of crap that flying palace doesn't have.
We've all seen Air Force One with Harrison Ford.
It would take. They're also. You wouldn't believe what it takes to put in your president somewhere. But anyway, they're all thinking he's thinking he wants that. He just wants a flying palace. That's all. He's such an asshole.
Well, who doesn't?
All the gold in the fucking room, in the fucking Oval Office. Seriously, asshole. Anyway. He just wants a flying palace. He has no idea what it costs, what it takes, what Air Force One has on it. You know, he just knows it's 40 years old. I don't like it. Fuck you. Anyway, the Air Force One is badass. And let's say the plane probably cost, I don't think they were $1 billion yet. Let's say, I'm going to say, speak of the devil, let's say 400,000. It cost another $1 billion to make it Air Force One.
Right.
And that's what they're guesstimating it would take to make this 747-800 into an Air Force One. It would take another $1 billion to retro it.
I would just say, first of all, I wouldn't be getting that plane. Any foreign country gives you a plane like, oh, hey, ride in this. It's just a no. That's just a no from me.
The first thing you have to do is look for bugs. Now, I know you've never been on a 47, but there's little rooms and like, you know, the horizontal stabilizer. Mm-hmm. You can climb in there. I used to climb in there and go to sleep.
Is that an elevator or a stabulator in there?
It's no. There's stabilators are only fighters.
Oh, okay.
So you got. Damn it! I hear the mic fuck up. Anyway, so your horizontal stabilizer sits here all the time. Now you've got a wheel down here. You do on Cessnas and shit too. You probably used it.
Mm-hmm.
And
trim
you
wheel.
Exactly. You set your trim. And you do that, and you set it to, okay, now we're fucking perfect, right? You're still using the elevators. That's your flight control. The whole horizontal is just trim. Now, a stabulator is a whole nother, we don't have them on commercial planes, and
right.
I don't think we ever will because they're not going Mach.
We had them, I had them on the
bottom line, the faster you go, just this much, you'll crash.
Oh.
You don't want things like, when you go over 400, your rudder pretty much locks. It like the travel might be 26 degrees. Shit, I used to know this crap. Anyway, let's say it's 26 degrees. I don't know. After 400, it's only fucking 8.
Oh, really?
Because if you go all the way, you're gonna die.
Yeah, because you'll get into a spin.
Yeah, you'll just and what's the first thing you do when your car's sliding or whatever? Oh shit, you do one of these. Well, if you do that in an airplane, it's good night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
well, you know,
we have to overpower the pilot more or less.
Yeah, you have more control with your feet.
Well, yeah, that's for the pedals. Yeah, for the rudder. But and I speak of the devil. What's your biggest muscle? Don't say your dick or your tongue. Anyway, it's right here. So,
but it's my show. I can say those if I want to.
So if you're fucking freaking out and push a pedal, you'll be surprised. You can probably, I was going to say bench. What's it called? Squat 600 fucking pounds. Now hit the fucking rudder pedal at 600 pounds. You're going to die.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. Well, they're not supposed to. It's supposed to be a gradual. Like what I've always learned is nothing happens fast in the air.
No, if it does, you're going to die.
Yeah, or
That's
you're in
point.
something that starts with an F.
Let's see what they. Now, what they used to
F-47.
say. We used to have trim tabs. Now, the trim tabs were on the actual flight controls because you're using the word trim. I'm just trying to make it clear. Mm-hmm. It's not like a trim wheel. Trim you set and you just leave there, or now some turbulence comes, so you want to put in 2 more degrees or whatever. This isn't to set it. So the little trim tab. Fuck, I got to figure out how to do this. The phone's bigger than my hand. But anyway, so here's your elevator, and here's the trim tab. So when you put in elevator, you do that. The air hits that and pushes it down. That way, you're only moving this. You're not going poof. So
Right.
You're only moving this, or actually be down. Anyway, so that's how everything, and that was when we were all cables. Now everything's fly-by-wire, so we don't have trim tabs anymore. But we have things that overpower, for lack of better terms, overpower the pilot. Like I say, 400 knots, it won't go past 8 degrees or, you know,
that drive-by-wire.
Fly-by-wire has, you know, we don't have a trim tab.
But doesn't it take away some of the redundancies? Like you don't have anything physical anymore.
You know, we used to always say that. I should know this. God, I hope nobody I know is watching this.
Everybody watches this, Jeff.
Yeah.
We have tens of people.
Yeah, there it is. God damn it. Because I remember that being the first thing because we were like, you know me. I was like, Airbus, fuck you. Anyway. And I forget that they add redundancy. Mm-hmm. I wish I could tell you exactly what it is because I fucking don't. Man, it hasn't been that long since I worked on it, but Jesus, man. Well, and the other difference is, too, I told you this, you start out in a hangar because it has to be inspected and there's, 3 or 4 people looking at it or whatever. On the flight line, first of all, I'm not going that deep in anything because the plane's going to fly in an hour. So, you know, if an engine blew up, well, fuck it, it's going to the hangar. I ain't doing it, I ain't going to get it for the next flight. I've had people take their bags over my legs, ka-dunk, ka-dunk, so she can sit down while I'm laying on the floor working on the fucking lab. Anyway.
What? That's so rude.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's always women. Anyway.
That's so rude.
It just fucks me up. But my point I'm trying to make is if I can't fix it in 10, 15 minutes, depending on how long the plane's sitting here, we ain't fucking with it. Now, if we can just close the lab and you can't use it. But then there's other, like I say, if the engine blew up, well, it's going to the fucking hangar. We can't do it. I can change your tire. I can change a brake. So my point is, I'm not into it as much. So for the last 10 years of me working at United, I wasn't in planes that deep anymore. Mm-hmm. I wasn't in the hangar doing all the shit I would know. Oh, you got to disconnect this wire because there's no trim tab. I forgot all that shit now.
Damn.
I know.
Well, next time you come on, you got to remember that stuff.
Right?
Because we'll be going deep into the F-47 next time.
Ah, fuck you. Put him in it and fucking...
Well, on that note...
That's another thing about his dumb... he is so dumb. You could fucking put him in a drone or something and just crash that bitch. Oh, shit.
Well, on that cheerful note, I think... I'd like to thank you for coming by, Jeff.
Oh, hell, we're done. Okay.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks. It is fun, man.
And
basically sitting here talking shit.
Right, I know.
In the moment,
you have to get that in every week. You got to talk your shit every week. It's keeps the blood pressure down.
It might not be so bad, but I'm too good at it. We'd have to show 8-hour show.
Oh, all right, guys. See you later.